Fix My Ugly Lawn, episode 9. It's time to top dress. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Project Golf Course Lawn Season 5. Well, today's a huge step. This is the 9th episode in the Fix My Ugly Lawn series, and today we are top dressing Alex's lawn. This is the last big thing we need to do to transform his lawn, which is typical of what most of you guys have, into a golf course lawn. If you guys have already seen my video on top dressing, you'll know that Alex and I earlier in the season, we top dressed certain portions of my lawn. We did that using a manual process. So it was like a wheelbarrow, rake, shovels, just the way that most of you might do it. But given the size of his lawn, we're deciding to take it up a notch today. So the process we're going to follow before I show you guys the equipment we're going to be using is a 3-step process. First, we're going to aerate the lawn to open it up, kind of break up any kind of compaction, and have put the turf in a situation where it's in a better position to receive that top dressing, so that the two can kind of meld and become one. Second, we're going to fertilize. The lawn doesn't technically need any nitrogen or any fertilizer right now, but because we're going to be stressing the turf by putting sand over it, we're going to give it a nitrogen kick to try and help speed up that recovery. So we're first going to aerate, then we're going to fertilize, and then finally top dressing. So let me show you guys the equipment we're going to be using today to get that done. So starting out with our aerator, it's your standard powered aerator, deep tine aerator. We're going to be running that guy to aerate the lawn, kind of open it up, free up, open up spots in the turf to really help it receive that fertilizer and the top dressing mix. And then you guys can kind of make that out there in the background. That's a dingo. So what this is going to allow us to do, it's going to allow us to put that, which is our top dressing mix. We got like 12 yards today. We're not messing around. We got a lot of sand into that. So as I said, guys, we're really taking it up a notch today. We're going to be using a top dressing machine. It should really speed up the process and also allow us to get more even coverage as far as putting the material down. So we're going to see. The dingo, again, we're going to be using that to load that, and then away we go. We got all this stuff, in case you guys are interested, from Keystone Rental in Duluth, Georgia. So if you guys need like a top dressing package, these guys rent all these pieces of equipment as part of doing that. So just reach out to those guys; they will take care of you. I'll have their contact info in the description in case you guys want to reach out to them. With that, we're going to get ready to first do the aeration. As far as the fertilizer we're putting down, let me share that with you guys. Today we're using Proscape, which is from Lebanon Turf. We're applying this at full rate, which on an earthway spreader is 17. So full rate on this is 17, and this is as you guys can see here, it's a 20.05. So a decent nitrogen hit to the lawn, nothing too crazy, but just something again to kind of help that turf recover faster. So this should be really good, guys. Once we get all the sand down, we're gonna be making use of my new toy, the leveling rake, to kind of smooth that out, really identify any remaining low spots in the lawn, identify areas where we're going to need additional sand. So we've got everything we need to get the best possible result in the least amount of time. So let's get with it, guys. Let's start with that aeration. That is some work, right? Woo! That's a workout, YouTube. So now we're going to throw some Proscape in the spreader, and we will take care of this area, and then we'll move on to do the rest of the lawn. But it gives you an idea of what we're doing. One thing you'll notice too is the flags that are marking the sprinkler heads. If you have sprinkler heads throughout your property, make sure you do that, because you don't want to have one of the tines go down and damage a sprinkler head. So that's the process. At least the start of it, beat up the turf as much as you can, get it aerated, get it loosened up, break up all that compaction. We'll put some fertilizer down, and then next thing is going to be top dressing. Okay, YouTube. So unfortunately, my phone ran out of space, so I'm not sure exactly when it cut off. I haven't actually looked through the footages yet to see, but hopefully you guys got to see some of the top dressing action where we were using the machine to really speed up the process. Let me just take you guys around and show you guys how the lawn looks. As you guys can see, Alex and Tony. Say hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Tony and Alex. They're still just doing some finishing touches. We haven't watered it in yet, but you can see what we're looking at, right? So there's sand in all the low spots, and you can see grass sticking up. Now, the thing you may be thinking is, wow, that's a lot of sand, and it is. We put down 12 yards of sand on this lawn. So between the front and back, and I'll take you guys around to the rest of it, it took 12 yards to top dress this lawn. But the thing is, even though it looks high now, once this is watered, which we have not done as yet, this is going to settle right in. So don't, if you look at that and you say that it looks, high, it's because it has been watered. But one thing you can notice, and it's really, hopefully it's coming through on camera, is how nice that contour is now after the top dressing. It's a really nice, gentle fall off, which is really, really cool. It's a nice advantage of smoothing out the turf. Let me take you guys around, and we can show you guys Vanity Strip 2.0, because we put some sand down there. We still have to go over and touch it up again. We're not quite done yet, but I put some sand down on the OG Vanity Strip. Again, this still has to be worked in, so this looks a little high, but you can see what we've done here all along Alex's lawn. So really in this area here is an area that was really rough. So putting down a little extra sand, which we're still gonna work in, is gonna really soften that and make this look just really, really smooth. Just give that golf course look. I mean, no matter how much you cut your lawn, really, you're never gonna get that golf course lawn appearance until you top dress it, because regardless of how good a job they do laying the sod, there's still always uneven spots. And even from just wear from like cutting the lawn and doing other things, the turf tends to get uneven. So top dressing is a really good option for getting a really nice appearance out of your lawn. So let me take you guys around to the front and show you there. This area we top dressed. This didn't take a whole lot of sand. You can see this spot right down in here. Obviously, like where cars coming, whatever like that, took a lot of sand to clean that up. And then I'll take you guys around to the front. And again, same scenario, same kind of situation where there's still quite a bit of grass showing through. What you can see is, even though as nice as that looked, when you guys see some of the previous videos of the lawn being mowed, you can see how many low spots there are based on how the sand is sticking up. Take you guys down here to the continuation of his vanity strip. You can see, I'm not sure what happened, guys, as far as how that notch that you see right there is, but that area was definitely a low spot all the way down. So top dressing was really a good option for cleaning that up. And then finally, I'll show you guys the most back-breaking part of this whole scenario. I mean, outside of using the aerator, like aerating the lawn was way worse than top dressing it. But because of the slope we're dealing with, we didn't want to take the machine around here to this back part. I mean, I'm not sure if it really coming through on camera, but that's a very steep fall off. So literally all of this right here was top dressed manually. This was, we just had, it took about, I want to say 4 wheelbarrows of sand to get back here and to apply the top dressing material to this part of the lawn. So I'll take you guys to the front here, and that's it, guys. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys, hope you guys get an idea of what the process is like. If you're gonna do a lawn this size, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you rent equipment to do it. Doing this just manually, I don't think the result will be quite as good, because that machine actually does a really nice job laying down the material in a nice even way, and it just saves you time. You have the dingo, you throw some material into it, and then you make 4 or 5 passes and just rinse and repeat. So again, if you guys need a setup like that and you're in the Northeast Georgia area, look up Keystone Rental in Duluth. Talk to Dan or Pat, and they will get you guys taken care of. They have a package that has the trailer, the dingo, the aerator, like everything you need to get this done, and it's completely worth it as far as time. As far as a recommendation, if you're going to do this, I recommend having at least 3 people. You're going to have one person at least running the dingo, continually putting sand in, another person running the top dresser, and then Tony, who's doing an amazing job. I mean, look, guys, look at that form. Can we just take a second and appreciate the form of the top dressing rake? I mean, look at that. I mean, this is really all about him. But having someone that's also doing that while you're putting material down is going to make the process faster, because you're going to identify any spots that need a little bit more sand, so you're just going to be a lot more efficient. So having 3 people, that's the magic number. 3 or more, but at least 3. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys appreciate us showing you the whole process. It was a ton of work, but I am really encouraged of how awesome this lawn is gonna look once it's done. Hey guys, just to recap the process, remember we aerated, we put down a fertilizer to give that nitrogen boost to the lawn to kind of get things going, help the turf recover faster, and then finally we top dressed it. And what you're seeing now is just the final step, us just doing some cleanup work, and then we'll water it in, and it's just waiting at that point. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing. If you've not watched the other episodes in the Fix My Ugly Lawn series leading up to this, make sure you do that too. And Alex, let me try and get him to come in here and close it out with me. So, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. And the next episode will be us kind of reviewing everything that's happened. We'll give you guys an update of how the lawn came through or is recovering from top dressing, and just kind of talk about the entire process so that it'll close out the Fix My Ugly Lawn series in part 10. So make sure you subscribe so you can see that. Thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. See you next time. Have an amazing day.